Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. We Are Error, Season 2, Episode 8, The Curious Letter, and that endgame plot hole. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Error.
Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Error Podcast. This is Duck. I am here with
Jake
and
Javi.
So yeah, welcome to the We Are Error Podcast. What is the podcast? It's a podcast we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And today we're going to do another whatever, and we're going to get started with something that is crazy. Something that is insane. Something that is... Jake, can you please set the stage for this?
Yeah, it's kind of simple, I guess. I go to check the mail at my club that I work at, and there's a message addressed to manager,
Which would be you.
which would be me. No return address. It just has our address on there, so it's like, okay, what the fuck is this? I open it up, and it's these 2 pages of scribbling is what it looks like at first. It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Or somebody, like, send me their school notes or something?
Holy shit.
And I think it's a serial killer letter. Yeah, there's a cipher at the end of it, and
Wow.
it's coded. And it talks about angels and demons and shit like that.
So it's dated 03/17/2019, and like you said, it looks like it's photocopied. It's definitely photocopied. So,
And so it's sent out to mass recipients.
and then, so it just said manager, basically,
Yeah.
on the envelope there.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, so I haven't read this yet. Should we read the whole thing, or?
So that's what I was wanting to ask you first. That's what I was going to say. Should we read it and figure out what the fuck we're looking at and then talk about it, or do you want to read it all out on air?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I was going to say, because it's pretty fucking intricate.
Well, you know what? I'm actually going...
Start it. It's got numbers by each statement on there.
Right.
There's about a paragraph long each. Some of them are a little shorter, a couple
All right.
sentences.
So Job 19. 19 equals he plus 285 plus angel darkness of heaven prophecy light. Angel darkness. Angels, smiley face, heaven, God. So there's little indentations about it with 1, 1, 2.
What's
So
the first numbers on that one? Job 85?
Job 19.
19.
So it could be directly from the Bible. You got a Bible
Yeah.
on you?
No.
My
pocket Bible.
Let me pull this out real quick. You carry that with you all the time?
Yeah.
I sure as hell do.
I keep it right on my heart.
You never know when a demon's going to show up and I have to go, pow!
It stops bullets.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. In like westerns and shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh,
fuck
good thing
yeah.
I had my Bible in my pocket.
Oh,
My
Jesus
favorite-
saved me again.
That joke is like,
Good thing I was wearing my extra large piece of the True Cross today.
Then people's angels of witness of Job, angel witnessing, spoke prophecy lights of angels, and the people spoke angel foundations. Number 2, how long will the people of heavens vex my spirit in the people, and break me in pieces with words unto heaven foundation? Number 3, by these angels of God of history's lights, the backward people have reproached me with angels' words of heaven. This guy's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, straight
Yeah,
up.
seriously.
The people are not...
How do you think he
ashamed.
was writing this? You angels!
Well, it sounds...
Foundation of angels!
It sounds like... It reminds me of like all the new metal shit from the 90s and
There's
stuff
some
like
serious
that.
ranting going on in here, though.
Yeah. The people are not ashamed with people of heavens of the people by whom the people make yourselves strange to me. Number 4. In darkness of heaven's gods, of heaven witnesses, of heavens is indeed. If people of whom I have erred, my people's error remains with myself in darkness, planters unto heaven foundation. 5. If people of heaven's...
I know, it gets
I know, it's
confusing
like
as fuck.
I feel like I need some Eminem music in the back. Like,
Forges and forges.
yeah, listen here, with the forges and the forges and the people of the foundations and the Haitians. In darkness of heaven's gods, I heaven witnesses of heavens is indeed. It sounds the same. All right, people of heavens will indeed. All right, I'm going to skip over some of this stuff.
you want me to read it?
Javi's going to try to read it. He's going to start at verse 5.
If people of heavens will indeed magnify angels of God yourselves against me and plead against me, my reproach is with heaven's words of heavens. This guy likes to repeat a lot of words.
All right, now give Jake 6. We're going to pass it around the room like we did in grade school.
Know now the people of whom God of the people has overthrown me, and the people have compassed me with
All right, Jake
darkness
wrote this. Keep reading it. It's awesome, dude.
by witnessing words with their network of witnessing and heaven witness supplantings who heaven foundation.
My turn. Where were we at?
You're at
7?
7.
All right. And behold, angels' foundations, I cry, speak, preach, pinch out a loaf. Out of the wrong heaven's walls, I have foundations, but I am not heard by the witnesses. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get an amen?
Amen, brother.
I cry aloud for people's walls of foundation, but in the lights of heaven there is no judgment. With people's angels of the people.
What does that mean, brother?
Just say amen.
I'm on 8, right?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if we're going to make it through this whole thing.
Angels of darkness in heavens. Alright, I can't do this. I prophesy lights, and the people have fenced up my way in people. By whom I cannot pass, and they by the people have set darkness in my path.
All right.
I, the dread pirate robber.
Okay, but what's the gist of it? Like,
Where
it's
am I
just
at?
a lot of people,
Right.
right?
It's like a lot of heavens and heavens, a lot
Okay,
of witnesses.
When does it get to the
This
point
one
where
right,
he's like...
okay, this one right here's got some weird Batman cowl fucking domino mask things
Holy
on there.
shit, is he a
That's the
superhero?
second page. I don't fucking know. What's that fucking mentally challenged superhero that Woody Harrelson
people
played?
of
Yeah,
people.
not a handyman.
They may write this down, the people. The people.
Heaven Foundations.
They would be pissed. All right, so it gets to the last page, though. You said it has a cipher on it, too.
Yeah, on the back. But you notice that there's numbers all over it, and
Yes.
every time like angels or heaven is mentioned, I think that's one of the fucking things. That's why it's mentioned so many times throughout there.
Why do you think it was sent to you?
I don't.
He
Well, like I said,
signed
it was a mass. What was his name?
He put a citation on here. What kind of? It looks like it says Philly Dr. Lord.
Let me see this. That's not a real
Philly
name.
Dr. Lord? It's not a villain's name.
What's your name, villain? It's Philly.
They call me Philly Dr. Lord.
Dr. Lord.
I guess maybe you do it in that preacher voice. They call me Philly Dr. Lord.
I use KJV Holman Publishers Super Giant Print 1996. Seek wisdom, seek understanding, be alive.
What if he put drugs on that paper? There
Philip-
could be anthrax on that.
He
He would be dead by
y'all
now.
feeling numb at all?
He had it for over 2
I don't know. Jake's kind of like Keith Richards. He can probably handle anything. So maybe we're getting a little anthrax there.
What does it say?
Yeah, that's
Seek
anthrax,
wisdom?
all right.
I don't understand the note. I don't understand what we're looking for. I don't understand any of it.
I don't either.
What's with? Whoa, there is a cipher on here.
I told you.
Do you think maybe Mike's friend is making that book? Do you think maybe he sent that out to you?
Why would he do that? I don't even know Mike's friend.
I know, but just to fuck with everyone. Evidently, he
Crack.
ciphered the Zodiac.
Zodiac
But
code.
maybe this is like a ploy
No,
to
man.
like.
I think this is just somebody who's really fucking out there who doesn't have time for anything else.
But
or
why send it
has
to a
all this free
comedy
time.
club?
Well, he sent out mass recipients. That's what I'm saying. It's a printed copy, so it's not like handwritten. So that tells me right there that he sent it out to a bunch of fucking places.
Right.
What is he trying to prove with this? What is his message here? Am I in imminent danger? Am I going
Yeah.
to die?
Thank God you've been hitting those push-ups.
Fingers
dude.
crossed.
Freaking yeah.
Fingers fucking crossed. Come on, bring it.
He's gonna show up and be messing with the wrong guy. You can be like, "Yeah, I deciphered it. It said I gotta kick your ass."
Yeah.
And you try him outside
I'll just be like,
by his long goth hair, because that's what I imagine. Some guy who looks like the Crow basically wrote that.
trench coat, black Jinko jeans, samurai sword.
Well, that reminds me of that dream I had about Endgame. I freaked out a little bit at first when we went to see Endgame because I did have that dream that person came into the theater and shot up the place.
Oh yeah.
That was fucked up, and I think
Yeah.
I brought it up beforehand, but we were just drinking. I was like, bring him off! Not a big deal.
You remember whenever the Dark Knight Rises shootings
Yeah.
happened, when a lot of people were trying to go after like the movie itself, saying it was their fault, like in the commercials and how it incited fucking.
Like Bane himself.
Yeah,
caused
like
it.
it incited riots and fire rising in the streets.
Yeah, bring out the fire. Look at Javi. He's actually on
Yeah,
this.
dude,
he's fucking
Detective
all
Pikachu
right,
over here.
He looks like he is, but he's actually on his phone texting somebody pictures.
No,
of
because
that.
I'm trying. I don't have a notepad thing on my phone, but I'm trying to like go by that.
Oh, you trying to decipher it right now?
Yes.
You do have a notepad on your phone.
No, I can't access it because I don't know how.
see it.
You're like an old lady playing with a PC who doesn't know how to
See
work
that right
it.
there where it says notes?
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
What? Huh?
How does notes work?
Oh,
I mean,
thank
but
you.
have you ever had a fear of your life while at work? Have you ever had
Man,
anything
no.
like this happen?
Okay, so I don't have any irrational fears. I'm not afraid of snakes or clowns or ghosts or fucking anything like that. I'm afraid of real life things, like going to jail. Afraid of police. This shit right here, this is fucking child's play to me. Come on, bro, bring it for real. Like, if you, like, they'll fucking send me a letter and be all cryptic. Just fucking tell me what you want to do. Kill me or don't. Like, I don't fucking...
Well, did you call the cops or anything?
No, why would I? There's no return address. I mean, he signed the shit, but like, what am I going to...
We're fucked because eventually if they do go, our fingerprints are all over this now.
Well, it could just be a fucking somebody who's truly devout and wanting to spread the message of God. Maybe the code is God is love or some shit like that.
You think this is like a Jehovah's
And
Witness?
then all of a sudden we solve it and we're all 3 born-again Christians.
Immediately. An angel comes down. He's just like, oh shit, you wrote the note.
And here I'm going to present to you the foundations of angels of heavens, of angels of heavens, of foundations of heavens, and angels and angels of foundations.
It's got to be derpy angel. It's got to be, you can come to me.
Come to gay heaven.
Did you say gay heaven? Oh my god, what does gay heaven look like? Get in here, boys. St. Pete is opening up the door.
Yeah. There's a whole new meaning to the pearly gates. Yeah.
Alright, so what do you got on that?
Well, according to my findings, Duck, I've managed to spell out Alab.
Isn't it a lab?
Maybe this was written in a lab.
Yeah, secret
What if
lab.
this is like written by a meth head?
Yeah.
Well, I almost guarantee it was. I mean, you know.
What if it was actual mad scientist?
Of angels and demons.
Like an alchemist.
It's alive! It's alive! Well, I mean...
He discovered how to make gold out of, like, mixing Pepto-Bismol with fucking Kaopectate or something.
And he made a money bin and he's jumping it like Scrooge.
And he just wants to send it out like that fucking Nigerian prince who wants to share his money. Like,
It's a big letter.
this is all chainmail is what this is.
It would be great if you got through the whole thing and at the end it said, send $1 to.
It's actually a coupon for Arby's.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Christmas Story situation where you decipher it's just like, sure to get your oval.
Exactly.
Let's take it to Arby's
exactly
and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, I was sent this.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, guys, we knew this day would come. Yeah, here, get all the cheese melts ready.
They come out in robes and they go, oh, horsey sauce. All right, Bobby, put it away. Let's talk about the next thing.
Oh man, I kind of want to figure this out.
All right, we'll look at it later.
Yeah, let's move on and actually, whenever we're done recording, we'll look at this and see if we
hell
can
yeah.
figure it the fuck out, and then we'll come back on and do an addendum.
We'll be like Detective Pikachu, like
Yeah,
you said.
exactly.
Which, let's just talk about that real quick. Jake, you saw Detective Pikachu.
I did see Detective Pikachu.
How do you feel about the Pokemon movie live action?
I had no expectations for this movie whatsoever because
no,
I'm not a Pokemon fan.
Never played it, never
It was
Pokemon
dope.
Go, nothing like
It
that.
was a really good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it because I didn't see it.
Right.
But I want to see it. But at the same time, do you think it's going to hold up and there will be sequels? As a person who had no expectations, do you think if you had expectations, you would have been like, fuck this? Or do you think it's Pokemon Go?
The way this one ends, I mean, yeah, it could. It could.
It's spoilers. Who gives a fuck? It's a Pokemon movie.
So, the reason why he sounds like Ryan Reynolds is because Mewtwo fucking swapped his dad's mind into Pikachu. And they're looking for his dad, but it's his... Pikachu is his fucking dad all along, and it's actually It's actually Ryan Reynolds at the end. He gets his fucking body like back or whatever.
No
so
shit.
it's
Shaggy
crazy.
dog.
Yeah, it's fucking
It's a
insane.
total Shaggy dog, dude.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
he never,
very
and he
much
doesn't
so.
tell the kid the whole time. He just.
He doesn't know. He had his memory wiped also. And he's like, dude, because nobody else could understand him. He's like, he's talking normal, but everybody else just hears Pika Pika.
Does he sound like his dad?
His dad is Ryan Reynolds. That's
I know.
why he sounds like
so
Ryan
why
Reynolds.
didn't he recognize his dad's fucking voice?
He didn't know his dad that well. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like, they did it well. Okay, so like he was apart from his dad whenever he was a little boy, he grew up with his grandmother, and then he found
So
out.
his dad's a piece of shit who becomes a Pikachu.
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dick Pikachu.
literally. The Pokemon in it, was it cool? Was it cool
Dude,
to
it
see
was
those?
badass. Yeah, I was really impressed. Like I said, I'm not even a fucking a fan of this shit. I don't play Pokemon Go. I never played Red or Blue. Never watched the cartoons.
But he played yellow.
You played Yellow?
Oh, all the day. All day.
All day. And then it brought the prophecy on of angels and demons.
I tried getting some Pokemon Pogs to keep up with the kids
Oh,
at
fuck
school,
yeah,
but they were way past Pogs. I was like, I know y'all like those Pokemans, but I got some Pogs with them same things over here. You can win them from me. I can take yours.
I'm sorry, man. I can see
I got these Pokepounds. Come get 'em. Gotta collect them all. I imagine you as like a shady drug dealer coming out and like that thing. Like, I got these Pokepounds.
Some Pokemon pugs.
Come on, kids. Line up one by one. Yeah, I mean, I like Pokemon. I'm a fan of the original games. I liked Pokemon Go when it first came out. Fuck yeah. So take it. Let's go right now. Let's take that with us and read it to everybody.
Fucking yeah.
Well, we'll get into Game of Thrones real quick, too, without spoiling. No spoiler. Just your main thought on the last episode. Yeah?
You can spoil it for me. I don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck?
I don't care.
You don't care?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
I wish that
I'm
she
looking.
would've...
I've seen a bunch of good episodes that I wanted to see, like ones that I should see. I know the story. I'm on Reddit and Imgur.
Oh, so you already know.
A few times a day. I see fucking all this shit on Facebook, whatever else. I don't give a shit.
Okay. So,
I
Javi,
really wish she would have lived.
You wanted-
I really
you
wish
wanted-
they wouldn't have killed
you
me.
wanted Hottie McPants to
God
live.
damn, she's She's gorgeous.
Fucking fiddly fine.
You're talking about the Targaryen here.
Yes.
Okay, Khaleesi.
The Dragon Queen.
Yeah. How did she die?
Jon Snow shanked her while making out with her.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's a very
because of what she did to
she became
King's Landing or
no,
whatever.
Not even joking. She became Hitler. Like, the imagery was so on the nose.
Yeah.
Whenever, it literally was just like rows and rows of Hitler soldiers, and she's up there saying, "The dragons, the hanging." Yeah, and she literally was Hitler, and Jon Snow's just like behind her, just like, "Oh, I love fucking my aunt. Oh, this is wrong, but it makes it so much more wrong."
Yeah, but she's
and
so
then,
hot.
And then Tyrion comes out and he's like, "Fuck you!" And he throws down his hand, the right hand of the thing, and the whole thing leads up to like she's alone in the throne room. She goes to touch the throne, and he comes and talks to her, and
Tyrion or Jon?
Jon.
Oh,
Tyrion
okay.
gets thrown in like the dungeon.
Tyrion dies?
No, he does not. So what happens is Jon goes into the throne room, and basically he tries to have that one last conversation. He can see that she's just turned heel, like hardcore,
Yeah.
and she's just pure evil. And he's in love with her, so he's trying to pull it out of her. And he realizes within her conversation, she goes, "I'm the ultimate. I will make these decisions."
Goddamn Anakin.
And yeah, exactly. And he grabs her, kisses her, and fucking gives her the old shank. And
In the back?
Yep. No, in the front. Like
Oh,
when they're
God.
making out, just fucking
Yeah,
front
good for
shanks
him.
her, and then he fucks her, and it was really weird. I was like, "What the hell are we watching?"
Did he
And-
fuck the knife wound?
Yeah, he fucked the knife
Oh,
wound.
yeah,
It was-
I figured he would.
And
Well,
then,
bed bugs
then I
reproduce.
turned to my friends who were watching it with
And
me.
then
Like, "You're gonna need to leave."
his dog licked the blood off after he was finished.
But yeah, it's not so much that I was fine with that. It was the aftermath of what came after that. But you said for you didn't like the fact that she got taken out.
I don't. This show really did a disservice to the characters that we spent years forming a relationship to.
Well, that's what
Like-
happens whenever you go through and force something that isn't even fucking there. They're like, fuck George R.R. Martin. We're making the fucking shit up as we go along.
Didn't have a problem with
Look
that.
what they did with Lannister. Jamie Lannister. This guy started out the series as a fucking prick. And he had a solid redemption arc. And then when the shit came down, he was like, psych!
He's still a
'Cause
sister
he was,
fucker.
He was an addict. That's what it was.
Well,
It was
you
a story of
can't-
an addict.
The people like that can't be redeemed, though.
No.
Like, that's the whole character arc itself. He starts off as a piece of shit. You start to like him. You start to see that he's doing some good things. But all the ways through and through, he's still a fucking sister fucker.
And he says that. He says that at the end. He goes, I'm a bad person. And that's the bottom line. And I've fooled you into thinking I've done a couple good things. But baseline, I'm bad. I was fine with that. I was fine with everything this final season.
Yeah, we
Everyone
still
kept-
ain't got your hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, and literally, in the one episode, he's like waving at the people, like, "Hey, look, I'm a Lannister." I don't have a problem with anything up until the last half of that episode. I felt like they dropped the ball, and it's simply because they didn't do what I wanted them to do. But Game of Thrones has never done what I wanted them to do.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was fine with it.
It's been about
Exactly.
subverting expectations.
And I think that's the big thing is that for me as a nerd, I turn on that now because Ryan Johnson really fucked up subverting expectations
Oh, yeah.
for me. So I think
Yeah,
that plays into
that in itself is a plot device. You know, like
yeah, and that's the problem. Sometimes
it's really
I just
getting out
wanna
of hand.
Sometimes
honestly.
I just want to see an 80s action movie where I know
right.
the three
The
act
good guy's
structure.
gonna fucking win.
Exactly.
Yeah, like everything else.
And at the end of this,
Iron Man 3.
the end it shows where all the characters go. It pulls a Tolkien, and then it has a little extended, like they're going here, here, and here. And John basically gets the shaft, as John always does, and that's the part that hit me. He's always the character that does the right thing. He is so much his uncle in that. He's Ned Stark, and he always gets screwed over for doing the right thing. But this show has set up, You do the right thing, you pay the consequences.
This is allegorical in a very strong sense.
But that's
man.
what I
There's
said.
plenty of people that do the right thing all the time, and
he went back to the
they
Night
get
Watch
no
on
gratification from it. They get no fucking appreciation from it, and you still get shit on.
But if you think about it, he is the one character that kind of gets what he wants, because that last scene, and it may not have been satisfying to me. Maybe I wanted to see him as king of everything. He's going to the north, taking his family, the wildlings, back to where they need to be from. And he always felt more at home in the north than he did anywhere else.
Yeah.
If you think about Winterfell, he was fucked over. His aunt didn't like him. And made his life miserable because, that whole situation. At the Wall, he wasn't
known as a bastard.
Yeah, he was a bastard. He became, he became the leader of the Night's Watch, but eventually, they killed him. Literally killed him. And so he wasn't at home there. The only place he was ever at home and accepted was the true North. So if you think about it, he actually wins. In the end of it, he got what he wanted. He didn't want to be king, so I should be happy for him.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm just like, man, this guy keeps getting fucked over. But you have to look at that last scene and go, all right, he does, as he walks towards the north, he smiles. He sees it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the first time you see that he's actually satisfied. Right. So I should be happy for this character.
There you go.
But I had to refrain that in my mind because I didn't want that at first.
So
if you look at his arc,
he got washed away in a hurricane, ended up becoming a lumberjack, pretty much.
Wait, what? What is that from?
Dexter.
Oh, fuck Dexter.
You gotta think about it. He was never meant to be king.
But he was. He was the rightful heir to the throne.
He was, but he
didn't want it.
He didn't want it.
He didn't want it. And that's the thing, is he didn't want it. And the story of Azor Ahai, which is in the books, in the prophecy, he does actually fulfill the prophecy. He's basically the person who's supposed to bring balance to the Force. He brings balance to all of it.
Yeah.
Also, the choice of Bran to be the king, at first I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of fucking sense. But if he could see the future and see the past, he already knew it was coming. Why didn't he fucking tell them? They were like, you can be Lord of Winterfell. He's like, I don't want it. It was like, but you want to be king? It doesn't even fucking make sense.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think it'll just take time to come to peace with it. But at the same time, I don't understand why everyone's so angry about this last season. It really wasn't that bad. I know my friend Big Nick keeps talking about
the coffee cup was a big...
Yeah, I think that's what threw people off.
That's a real fucking, we don't care about this show anymore.
How would you not catch
that? The actors are sitting there. I know they sit there for hours at a time, especially in scenes like that whenever she doesn't have any dialogue, but literally she's fucking... Amelia Clark is right in front of the fucking cup. Like, she couldn't look over. She's probably pissed off at the DP that day. It was just like, I'm not even going to tell her about this coffee cup.
Did you ever see the YouTube videos of, the cast being asked, how did you like the ending of the season? And you could tell...
And they were, looking at Brie Larson just going, this fucking bitch.
It was like Brie Larson's situation. They were just like, yeah, it's great. Like, even the guy who plays Jon Snow is like, oh, it's disappointing. And then you can actually see him like, oh fuck. I'm just kidding. It's great. This is great.
Whoa. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Leaf blowers, bro.
No, man. That's a fucking high-powered drone outside. They found out about the letter. The FBI's here to fucking take it.
But for real, I can understand the disappointment. And the other thing is, I wasn't disappointed by the season. If I would have been pissed off about this season, like it seems like everyone else is, I would have been pissed about this ending. I would have been like, fuck this show, fuck everything they ever did. I'm out. Let me go buy this real quick, though. Not tell anyone. But I wasn't disappointed with the season, so I was okay with the ending. I was, like you said, meh. Where I was just like, it took some acceptance. But I honestly don't know. If all of a sudden he was like an unhappy king, would that have been a better ending for this? It's like he didn't want it.
It would have been a more tragic ending.
I guess. I just don't know. And then with Tyrion too, where he was like, everyone's like, fuck you. And then he was like, well, here's my idea. And they're like, okay, that works. Let's do that. But whatever.
But he became the hand of the crippled king, so you're good.
Cinematography wise though, Episode 3, The Battle of Winterfell, I don't understand why everyone hated that. That was awesome. Dude, you gotta watch it. There's just, it's the craziest battle scene. There's just bodies upon bodies heaping on top of each other.
Who did the Rancor eat?
Oh, the Rancor. Everyone. Okay. And then he got killed and the big guy came out. That's one of my favorite things ever.
His friends consoling him, they're both crying.
I think that was my favorite thing ever because it was what George Lucas said, the idea that even monsters, somebody loves a monster.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
That is truly an iconic scene. I love that.
I love that when he just comes in, he's like. For me, when
his pet just fucking died. That'd be like killing your fucking dog. Is what it was.
Dude.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
And for me, I think also I love Return of the Jedi. I can see it's not the perfect movie, but when I was a kid, all that behind the scenes shit where they showed the making of it and the puppetry, all these
awesome.
Muppets running around.
As a
and shit
child, Return of the
Loved it.
Jedi was always my favorite.
Yeah, dude.
Because
I
just
think-
all the fucking, like, a lot of really fucking cool moments. The entire Jabba's palace scene is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
that's
you
so
know,
good.
Then all of a sudden, we're on Endor and they're wearing, like, camouflage and shit. Like, as a kid, I was like, this is great. Yeah,
My
as I got
G.I.
older,
my G.I. Joes
get-
can be.
Yeah, as I got older, I was like, okay, this is a plot. This is a toy sales thing
Oh, yeah.
that was going on
Absolutely.
here. But that's when I became obviously a bigger Empire fan.
Do you think that it changes with time? I think when you're a kid, you love Jedi. As you get older, you start to realize how good Star Wars is.
Yeah, but
and then eventually you're like, Empire
is the
that's
most
where it's at.
like the most
because it's real.
realistic.
Yeah,
exactly.
because nobody wins.
Yeah.
I think it does change.
Yeah, it's bleak.
Well,
it's dark. It ends on a fucking footnote that's like, what? Like, where are they going to go now?
Absolutely.
Like,
Real quick before I go on to our next subject, do you have anything else you want to add about Game of Thrones?
Well, the Hound did die, and I love the way he went out. He
Went out like a
boss.
Bausch.
I would have liked to see him lived.
That whole thing where he's just like, fuck it, and they just go through the side
he
of the
took out
tower.
the mountain.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It
and
was
they
badass.
dove into a pit of fire.
Yeah, it was
And
badass.
it just proved Sandor could have taken his brother alive easily. I mean,
Yeah,
because
you
he
said
fucking
that.
lit him up. He lit him up before he even drew his sword. I mean, he was so fucking.
Oh, it's so good, dude. He's got him
So
up the thing, and
slow.
he's like
Well, I was gonna
poking
say,
out his
how many-
eyes.
Yeah, he's doing the fucking Viper thing.
Yeah.
That's his signature move. He's a fucking wrestler.
Oh, it's
like, that's
so
his
good.
finisher.
And then you can see through his bloodied eyes. He looks
Yeah,
at
he
him.
had
Yeah.
one eye left,
then-
and he just coming. Fuck it.
He practically only had one eye left anyway.
Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
And the other thing is they changed the character. He didn't have his emo lock anymore. Now
Dude,
he was
I
like
didn't-
full hair back. I was
I
like,
didn't like the fact that he was like clean cut. His hair was actually dry. He looked weird. Like I'm used to like seeing like fucking Dirty Hound with his like.
but
Yeah.
we talked about that
Greasy-ass hair.
scene where he says, "All right, get out of here. You want to become like
Dude,
me.
I fucking love that
all that's
scene.
coming for you is death." And he goes to walk off, and she goes, "Sandor," and she says his name, and that's where that moment I was like, "Oh shit!" I kind of got goosebumps. She said his name.
Yeah.
like she actually grew up enough to respect this. The other thing I was going to say, okay, Jesus doesn't come back from the dead to fall in love with Hitler, kill Hitler, and then does not get rewarded for that. You know what I mean? So maybe he does eventually.
His
in the
reward
story.
was the life that he wanted.
I guess that is true. I guess he does win in the end because he gets to go do what he wants to do.
man.
So let's talk about Endgame. That was awesome. That met all of our expectations. Game of Thrones, we kind of went, oh shit, that's the other big end, you know. But that kind of went, How is Star Wars going to do? Where is our expectation level in Star Wars now? For the nerd trilogy of this year? Well, like I said, there's actually 4, and I realize what the 4th one is. It's Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah.
Now, I really want to see that, and that's not the
course.
end of a
Dude,
big franchise.
The
but
cameos are going to be fucking outrageous
I can't
in this
wait.
one also.
I cannot wait.
It's going to be you know who else we're getting in Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
Who?
Brandon St. Randy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was at.
Yeah,
From,
Zack and Mary.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was awesome.
Listen
shut
up,
your mouth before I
Rovers.
fuck it.
Wait, is he he's playing that character?
Yes,
Yeah.
So Zack and Mary is connected to that universe.
Apparently so.
They were maybe a View Askew, weren't they? That
Now that one, I don't think that was a View Askew universe.
No, it was never, but this will connect it to
Yes,
it.
it
And I
will.
wonder if there's some way they'll connect Jersey Girl after all, fuck it, and his other movies.
Right. Well, I mean, Tusk is already going to be connected because I know Jay and Silent Bob were supposed to be in Moose Jaws.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. They were going to connect to this universe, and hopefully he'll still make Moose Jaws. I would love to
He
see
just
that.
just connect all the
Just
fucking
keep
movies.
doing it.
Just
make
do it.
for
Yeah.
us. If he comes and he does what he did with Red State and he brings it through Dallas, hopefully we'll be able to go see him on stage and
Yes.
talk to him and watch the movie. I want to see that movie.
Oh,
there.
fuck yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, I saw the Angry Video Game Nerd movie
Yeah.
in theaters. I will definitely pay $50 to $100 for a ticket to
Easily.
go see this movie.
Yeah.
That is not even a big deal. Just bring it through, let us see it. That would
Yep.
be awesome. But Star Wars, where is our expectation level at for
My
Star Wars?
bar is so low right now.
Solo, get it. Yeah, that's the damn. Javi cringed when I said it. Where's your expectations at?
I got none.
Well, I mean,
None?
after Last Jedi, I really had hope after The Force Awakens.
Damn, you're good. See, what else can you do? I mean, I want to see how this empire ends.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, Episode 7 came out. It was like, fuck yes. They brought it back.
Perfect
Episode
reboot.
8. What the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to retcon a lot of what Ryan Johnson did in that last one. I
you think
mean,
you just
I am
ignore it?
hopeful. The fucking trailer looks goddamn amazing. The title is fucking intriguing. It's fucking sexy. It's provocative. You don't fucking know what it means. Like, we're all like, what does it mean? Rise of Skywalker, the last one, as we knew, died at the end of the last one. You know, like, what does that mean? We've talked about our theories. It could be a faith. It could be resurrection. It could be
I'm hoping he's like
passing of a torch.
Like I said,
It
I
could
hope he's
be
a godlike creature, and he comes back, and he's just like, "You will all be fucked."
a vengeful
Like I said,
god.
Shao Kahn at the end
And
of
then
Mortal
they have
Kombat. "I
Brian
come for your
Johnson
soul."
photoshopped in there, and he's killing him also with
Yeah.
everybody. Like,
My expectations are low because it's one fucking movie. And they're not boasting a 3-hour time limit, so like, I'm guessing
we
it's gonna
don't
be,
know
like,
anything about
probably
it at
2
all.
hours,
It might,
maybe under an hour and a half.
bro. It might be. How long was Last Jedi? It was like 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
That's a long
I
one.
feel like JJ will fucking do like a 3-hour movie to fucking make this right.
Especially after
Studio
Endgame.
executives will get behind this also, seeing the success of
Endgame.
yeah, exactly. Studios will fucking make you edit for time. They want it to be a fucking hour 45 minutes right on the fucking nut,
Right on the
Kick you
neck.
right in the dick.
But it's like, you gotta think about, like, I've always wanted to see Rey turn. I don't think she's gonna turn. Not in that short time. So it's kind of like, I think it's going to be a movie where it's going to be like, okay, this might have been a little bit too much in one movie.
I think for me, I just want to see Palpatine at this point. I'm fine with it. I think a lot of people have been saying, just give it fan service. I know you say that quite a bit. Just do fan service.
Yeah,
Who
do what
gives
the
a
fans
fuck?
want you to do.
Just do fan service. You don't
You
have
have-
to rewrite this.
You
or
have
you
so
don't have to change
many
it.
of a collected group of people that are dedicated to like franchises. I mean, we're talking in the millions in
Right.
some cases.
I mean, look, there's a pillow right there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
But I'm just
Anakin
saying,
up there.
and these people are online talking about how they want these movies to go. Why would it be so far-fetched to fucking look at some of these things and compile a great story? And you're doing what they fucking want you to, and you're gonna make so much more money because those motherfuckers are gonna go back and see it
Again.
3, 4,
Again.
5
Again.
times. Like, they're not thinking about it. They're just thinking about the fucking opening weekend. And just like, oh, I don't care. Let's just
Well,
get
it's a
as many
time
asses in the
crunch.
seats.
It's a time crunch thing too. But
Yeah.
I think with Endgame they made the right decision, and I think they'll make this decision also to make it hopefully a longer movie. I think that we're going to see all 3 trilogies put together in some fashion.
Right.
I think Palpatine is the key. I think we are going to see Anakin as a Force ghost in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's rumors of Hayden being on the set
Exactly.
and doing all that shit.
And hopefully he'll actually, maybe this is what buys it back, because obviously he's had a long time to become a better actor. Maybe
Right.
he comes in and he kills it, and you're just like, oh yeah,
That
it's
would be
Vader, I
cool,
wanna see
right?
it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think we would all accept it. Time heals a lot of wounds, and we
So-
just be like, I just want to see a completion of it. Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast.
Y'all watched that fan edit
Oh, yeah, that
of
was
the
sweet.
scene on the Death Star.
Oh, it
you
was
didn't
sweet.
watch it? I made
He's
it
about
such
to.
a fucking point on that
I
goddamn
know.
thread that
Okay.
afternoon. I wanted some goddamn validation because it was so fucking badass. You didn't even take the time to fucking watch it. Fuck you. You're a shitty friend. I hate you.
Okay, but we're going to watch it right
Let's
now.
watch it.
Boom, baby. Hobbs.
Yeah.
Number 1, why did it take you so long to watch that?
I don't know, I just got busy.
Number 2, what do you think of that?
That was fucking dope.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Especially when he was getting up and you hear, like, you're my brother, Anakin.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it. I was like, oh,
You
shit.
should have said, I have the high ground.
They did everything right on it.
You underestimate my power.
And what I liked about it was the narrow hallway fight. We've never seen that.
Oh, no.
That worked.
Well, they're more realistic. Like,
yeah.
the fighting style. I like that.
Well, now, what's that
And these-
called real quick?
That's Star Wars Scene 38 Reimagined.
Okay.
If you're a fan of any of the Star Wars, especially Episode 4, New Hope, you should watch this scene. It's amazing. It's pretty much the Obi-Darth Vader fight where it wasn't much of a fight at all.
Instead of just going
Yeah.
like, hey, I got this
Yeah,
broomstick and we're fighting.
Yeah, he swung a wiffle ball bat at him and then a rope dropped. Pretty much is what happened.
I'm a Jedi Knight. It's fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, they didn't know where they were going with it back then, and that was still revolutionary at the time, but now that we're all so, I guess, evolved mentally, even in our combat shit
We
and
need
everything
that
else
action,
like that.
baby. We
Yeah,
need that.
exactly. We crave this shit. Like, oh, well, that was kind of weak. But, I mean, for my money,
That's pretty good.
yeah, I will fucking take it.
And-
They do modern fighting style, modern sword fighting style, much like they did with the lightsaber fight in
The Last of the Jedi.
Yeah, pretty much, whatever.
I want to see some new shit with Star Wars. That's
Yeah.
cool. Do the narrow.
They
hallway
kind of
fight.
did.
Do the.
But it was
old boy
different
scene.
than what you're imagining because it was light phased doors that were shutting off as they were chasing Darth
Love
Maul
it.
down the fucking tunnel.
Freaking love
yeah,
that,
no,
dude.
that's what I'm saying.
The
That's a
end-
great fucking
To
scene
me,
where they're
the-
trying to catch up. They're all on the fucking timer.
The Phantom Menace does two things very well. Pod racing scene removed. And you got to remember, pod racing, he wanted that for the original movie. That
Yeah.
was something he wanted to put in
I
Star
like the
Wars.
pod racing.
The
scene.
pod racing scene is one of the best edited parts of that movie or parts of the prequel trilogy.
Plus, we
Bottom
met one of the announcers for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I freaked him
Little
out. Did I
Greg-
tell you that?
little Greg
I think I
Proops.
was all fucked up on drugs or something, and I came up to him and could tell. I was like, hey, Greg Proops. It's nice to meet you. I literally pulled a Gary Busey on. I was like, nice to meet you, friend.
It's like, okay.
And he was like, just step aside here. But I also think the Duel of the Fates final
Oh, my
scene,
God.
it's awesome.
Well, the score, obviously,
Amazing.
is a huge fucking part. And that's another thing that gives me hope about this new one, is John Williams said he watched a rough cut of like 20 minutes of it and felt very inspired to create new music for it.
Awesome.
Oh shit.
I used to think of John Williams, and every time I hear his name, I'd be like, oh, it's John Williams, the composer of all these epic, Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, and just love his music. And now every time I hear his name, I think his son is the lead singer of the band Toto and Road Africa. I don't know why I always think that.
I don't know.
But
He also
yes.
did the Entertainment Tonight theme.
Did he? That was John Williams?
You don't remember that episode?
He
It
wrote
was
everything. I do know that the guy who did the score for Endgame was the guy who did the score for Back to the Future. Do you
Alan
guys know?
Silvestri.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy. And I thought, oh, that's genius that they tied that in, plus then they got the guy who actually scored
It was
it.
on so many levels.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I was
good.
thinking about the name Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thing. This is going to be my official prediction before this movie comes out in December. Rise of Skywalker, meaning it's going to be Ben Kenobi, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Thick Bitch Ren?
Yep.
All right.
Skywalker's
Ben
going to
Solo.
come back. Anakin's going to come back. And Princess Leia, they're all going to team up and finally take out Palpatine when he emerges through Rey.
That is so far-fetched.
That's not going to happen.
That's going to happen.
That is
not
so
gonna
very
happen.
far-fetched.
You watch. They're going to be all Force ghosts and shit.
You know what? I thought that was an awesome
And they're all
idea.
gonna, put
Evidently, no one else liked that idea but us. Because I was like, bring in the Force Ghosts.
It's going to be
Oh,
nothing but all Skywalker Force ghosts, and they're going to put all their power into Kylo Ren, and it's going to be a massive duel between
They probably won't do it, though.
I like that idea, but that's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
They already did it in Harry Potter. There's no way they're going to hate Harry
How
Potter.
did it happen in Harry Potter?
The Goblet of Fire at the end, whenever his parents are
Okay,
standing
he
there.
didn't
and
get his
shit.
parents' powers though. They just distracted his
Kind
Voldemort.
of, because they're like, just love us more, Harry, love us more. He's
No,
like,
it
I
wasn't.
love you so much. And then he got back.
You clearly didn't watch it. You clearly don't know what happens. You clearly don't know what happens.
I just remember them being like, Harry, don't jerk off so much we can see you. Hermione's your friend, Harry. That's Ron's girlfriend.
You're a wizard, Harry. Quit jerking it like a muggle.
Yeah.
Use your magic.
My God, I know everyone else has family to go home to on Christmas, but goddamn, the amount of jerking off and thinking of Hagrid. How dare you? I don't think they'll do it, but I also didn't think they bring back Palpatine. So
Yeah, we already know. I thought that him showing up at the Star Wars celebration and
Or it's
playing the
gonna be
clip. I thought
reversed.
that already is confirmed that Palpatine.
oh,
is
he's in.
this.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Or it's
That's
going to be
shocking.
reversed, where Palpatine puts all his power into fucking Kylo Ren, and he becomes super powerful. Hence the rise of Skywalker.
Well, there was a theory that he just wanted to continue through. He wanted to use Vader as a vessel.
Maybe he
And-
actually is Darth Plagueis.
I think that could be possible. And like I said, he is technically a Skywalker, even though not in name. But if he created Anakin, he is technically the great grandfather. So
Right, I
possibly.
do. I read this theory recently that he impregnated Shmi Skywalker via Force
From Hook.
It is Shmi Skywalker.
I know, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, he impregnated. He is the
he
story
used
of
the
Dark
Force,
Plagueis that
yeah.
he tells in episode 3. That's definitely where he came from. It's
Right.
the midichlorians and blah blah blah.
Boo.
I know you rolled your eyes and you're so right. As I said it, I rolled my eyes. It's like fucking midichlorians. It's so
Well, you have
funny
to
because
explain
George
it.
Lucas said recently, he's like, "Oh, I was going to make the final trilogy about midichlorians." He's like, "Like, didn't we have enough of the blood
Damn
disease? Calm
you.
down."
Yeah, seriously. They're mutant freaks now. They're not just like sidekicks or anybody can wield the Force. That one little kid's a mutant freak and
Even-
he's lifting up the broom. Like, I thought they stopped making these degenerates.
Even Ryan Johnson was like,
Yeah.
But What was the theory that you read recently? The story of Darth
It was the
Plagueis?
same one that we're talking about, is that Palpatine is the one who used the Force to impregnate
Right.
me, Skywalker, to procreate.
Sounds so dirty.
fucking-
It sounds like force rape when you say it that way. Ugh.
Did he jerk off
what
into,
is
the
it?
air and like use
Yeah.
his horsepower? Like,
Yeah, exactly. He pushed it into her vag from like 100 miles away with the Force push.
oh yeah.
See?
Oh, God. Oh, bless
Yeah.
the reins.
No, he just does the dice shoot.
But that's what I'm saying. So, technically, he is the forefather of the entire family.
Force
so,
father.
The Force father, very nice, of the entire family. So, I guess
Forced
it does
himself
come
on
full...
that woman.
Oh, God.
So does that mean that each and every Skywalker?
I mean, she did get raped in the second movie, right? When she was at the
Oh
Sand
yeah,
People.
the Sand People.
They
Totally.
straight up,
That's
they're
why Anakin hates sand so much. They got sand in his mom's vag.
So
To hear about her bitching
will
about
that mean
that on
all
that
the Skywalkers
miserable fucking bike ride all the way home with her.
So that mean all the Skywalkers have the blood of a Sith running through them then?
I really don't know.
Bro, who
Yeah.
knows at this point? What are they gonna do?
Were they
the
going to
only,
Game of Thrones this and fuck
the
up?
only
Oh, shit.
person who, yeah, I was gonna say the only person who knew like what Star Wars was really about was George Lucas, and we all decided that he didn't even know what the fuck Star Wars was about.
Well, that's what happens
like,
with this fandom.
yeah.
We're seeing it. A lot of us enjoyed Endgame because it was pure fan service. How they did it, I have no idea, but they pulled that off. That was that was a rabbit in the hat. That was a magic trick.
Right.
Lightning in the bottle, like I said. Game of Thrones, the fans have turned against it. We're just like, we love this shit. Fuck this shit. And same thing that happened with Star Wars recently. We still love it. It still has a wonderful place in our
But
past, our nostalgia. But
it
we're just
split the class in half, though.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
one. Definitely.
Yeah,
like
100%.
it put a total rift.
I mean,
in the nerdum fandom.
I think their idea is like, okay, we're going to finish this off. We'll do fan service, and then we're going to do these TV shows and build off of that. And then the Game of Thrones guys get the next trilogy of movies, which now it's just going to be the same thing. Where just everyone's going to be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But they have a clean slate, so hopefully it'll work out. Or do they? And this is all a ploy to just be like, well, episode 9 isn't the end. Now we got episode 10, 11, 12, and they continue the story. Do we want a continuation of the story?
No.
No?
I want this to be wrapped up in a nice, neat little package, a nice fitting into it, like Endgame did to the entire fucking Infinity Saga.
But fuck, man.
Fuck, man.
No, but I'm just saying. I think,
fuck, man.
That's a weird superhero.
I'm so here to get this done.
Did somebody call my name? Fuck, man's
I
here.
think when it comes to like the Star Wars thing, I think I'm in the Marvel wheelhouse more than I am Star Wars. Like completely. Like, I think it was just because of the timing. Like 11 years, bam, 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 like 2 or 3 movies a year. I mean, they got the 22 movies before they finish it off. Like it's like 40 years for what,
Yeah.
12 movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even some of them like,
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, honestly,
it's like I think that's why my expectations are so low. They're really low, and it's just like, what can you possibly do?
but let's talk about that. Endgame, it didn't meet our expectations.
Right.
It made us happy. The 2 movies back to back, Infinity War and Endgame, was like the perfect combination.
Right.
You got your Empire Strikes Back, and then you got your, you could say Return
You
of the
got
Jedi,
your
sort of.
cake
But-
and you got to eat it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really is good. We know that Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be the actual conclusion where you deal with the aftermath.
That's the end of phase
That's
five.
your Tolkien 30 minutes, Frodo and Sam looking like they're going to suck each other off moment.
Right. There was a very Return of the King feel to the end of Endgame also.
Yeah.
We got 3 different fucking endings practically.
And now we're going to be moving into the multiverse, or are we? My theory on that is it's not the multiverse. That's just Mysterio fucking with them. And I also, like I told you guys,
Danger Room.
I think Fury. No, I really think Fury is Chameleon.
Chameleon's
disguise.
in it.
Yeah, we know he's in it, so I think that's him disguised.
Wow. So
They've already introduced 4 villains within Spider-Man Homecoming. They had Vulture, Shocker, Tinkerer, and the Prowler.
Right.
And then I am the Scorpion.
Also,
so that's 5 right
one
there.
more thing. Sony still has a good part of this character. They're just in collaboration with the MCU on this right now. So theoretically, the Kraven could totally be in this, and that would also be a great propellant for Sony to have their Kraven movie. Why MCU would do that if they don't own the character, though, however.
You got to go for the big bads. Like I said, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is comparable to Batman's
Yeah.
Rogues Gallery. You got the biggest and baddest
So-
and sweetest costume villains.
To me,
ever.
obviously, Doc Ock.
Gotta have Doc
Yeah,
Ock.
that's,
He's the
that's
main one. I always
the
thought he was.
antithesis of everything
Green
that
Goblin?
Peter Parker is.
I mean, who's closer
those
to-
two.
Yeah.
Those 2 were the top fucking big bads. Like,
Exactly. You got to use those characters. Does this open up the avenue for, if they do not renew their deal with Marvel, 2 things. Number 1, do they go multiverse and kick him over to Sony, and then they connect Venom and Morbius and all that shit, and he exists within their universe, and he's no longer connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Does that open that option for them?
I don't think that Marvel or Disney would allow that at all.
But they don't really have a choice. If Sony has the right to the characters, so
right? Well, they might, but they can't take Tom Holland because he's under contract with.
But he's under contract with both. The way it works is he's contracted through Sony.
That's weird.
And it's
because he was gonna. They were talking about him being in the Venom movie also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This could be their out the pool, their Spider-Man that's working into their universe and go, now he's over here, he's not connected to that universe, fuck you. Secondly...
What fucking assholes? Fuck you, Sony. Just sell fucking Marvel, you fucking cocks.
Secondly, does this open the option, if they do that, to put Miles Morales... who, if you use that 5-year gap, would have aged up into a place where he could be the new Spider-Man.
He could be brought in through the multiverse if that actually turns out to be something that is a thing also. Because honestly, they were talking about adding Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire into the Spider-Verse. But they were afraid people... I would be all for it. Every iteration of Spider-Man. They already had every other one. Why not the movie ones?
I do like the fact that Tom Holland was Peter B. Parker. But just older. That got confirmed.
Wait, from what?
And to the Spider-Verse, the older Spider-Man.
Chris Pine, you mean?
Right.
Chris Pine.
No, not Chris Pine. Jake Johnson.
Okay.
That is Tom Holland's character, Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I didn't know that.
Well, so they can confirm it off screen if they want, just like Tom Holland confirmed that he was the little Iron Man that Iron Man
that a lot.
saved. That's a really good premise.
Well, let's talk about... We had a conversation on Facebook Messenger about Endgame. The plot hole aspect of what really happened when people got dusted, and then they came back after that 5-year gap.
They were
whatever
like a different realm, because like Peter
where
Parker
they
said,
were,
I woke up and Doctor Strange was there.
Where they were when the snap happened.
Did they come back?
And where they came back where the unsnapped.
Okay, so when they got unsnapped, did they immediately dust back to whatever location they were in?
I'm almost positive that they did, because you can look at the different portals that Doctor Strange opened up, and clearly Black Panther and Okoye or whatever are coming out of Wakanda. Clearly, Peter Quill and Spider-Man are coming out of Titan.
Yep.
Okay.
So from that, we can already assume.
Now, what we character-wise wasn't a big deal. What we're talking about is half the population of the world that got snapped away and got re-snapped in. Now, there's a 5-year gap. And they kind of deal with that at the beginning with the guy who's talking about going on a date, right? And he says, I miss my husband, I went on this date. What if all of a sudden his husband's back, and he's got to deal with the fact that he's been dating this guy and sucking his dick and all that stuff? How does that work within relationships? Let's say you were married, your wife gets snapped, and all of a sudden she's back and you're remarried. I mean, 5 years is a long fucking time.
There's so many fucking questions as to what the fuck happens here.
So what happens? You get remarried, okay?
Look at you're a fucking insurance salesman. What about fucking life insurance policies?
All right,
how the fuck does that fucking work?
I believe you owe me some money.
Yeah, does the insurance company... Well, first of all, do they pay out on that? Because that in the stipulations is getting snapped in the dust part of your policy. Because you got to keep in mind, it has to fall under the guidelines of the policy.
I also want to know, if you were serving a life sentence in prison, are you legally required to be set free after you got unsnapped?
Are you?
Because my life technically ended, so that was me completing my life sentence. I would like my freedom, please.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's how that works.
You don't think? You don't think you get freed after that?
Oh, well, I mean, all
right, 5 years sentence.
The prisons are a thriving business right now. They're making money off of having people in there, and that snap took away half their population. Yeah, they want all those motherfuckers back. I'm just saying.
5-year sentence. You get snapped. You're brought back 5 years later. Did you serve your 5 years, or do you got to start over fresh?
Well, I was fucking dead, so I would hope that death kind of negates.
That's what I was hoping too, but that's what they say. No, fuck that. It doesn't.
Yeah, because you know what? It only felt like it was 30 seconds for all of them.
Yeah, because what was the time period? 30 minutes or something like that? 30 seconds?
But I guess if you could if enough people got the common sense to lie about, like, oh, I was trapped in there forever, like, goddamn.
All right, does that change religion too? You get
of course it does.
You get snapped. You go to nothingness, because that's what Peter Parker said. It was like 30 minutes of darkness or whatever. You come back. Does that change, like, all of a sudden, like, well, we can't do the church thing because there was nothing after the snap, and now 50% of the population knew it?
Everybody gets brought back, and they're like, oh, shit, Christianity was the right way all along. They can all just come back from the dead.
Oh, yeah. Y'all got resurrected.
Yeah, so everybody becomes devout Christians.
I think it changes. Do you think there is religion within that universe still?
Different kinds of religions. I think they fucking... worship superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do that already.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, let's talk about the relationship aspect. What if you're married and you disappear for 5 years and you come back and your wife is remarried? What happens?
Your wife.
Yeah, dude. Especially if you come...
Dude, but it's only 30.
So,
You're still in love with this person. She fell in love with somebody
Let me go
else.
through this logic. 5 years and your fucking spouse died, that is too soon. I mean, if you're like...
To be remarried?
Oh
to
my.
be remarried, that's
No.
Are you
fucking
fucking kidding me?
People
Are
get
you
remarried
kidding
after
me?
2 or 3 years after a death.
Yeah,
Those
bro,
people that
like,
just don't wanna
2
move
years
on.
later.
Yeah, people grieve.
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
moves in like
it's
a creeper.
unhealthy if you fucking are still mourning 5 years later.
Yeah, dude. People
It
get
really
remarried
is.
quick. Like, seriously, like, look how upset Javi is. about
Javi
this.
is very upset about
Dude,
this.
it-
He's rolling my
trust
eyes. He
me,
won't even
I-
look at me.
Trust me, people move on and they'll be remarried. 5 years doesn't seem like a long time, but 5 years is a long time, dude. It is a very long time. So that's what I'm saying. You come back.
I could see just like wanting like companionship.
But is that the
quick.
weird sitcom thing where you come back and your wife is remarried and you're trying to get back into the family?
That would be the most
Yeah.
depressing sitcom
And then
ever.
Spider-Man shows up delivering a pizza. He's
So,
like, sorry,
but,
guys.
that's a sitcom that would appear in that world, though.
Oh, dude, we need that. Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We write that shit.
Right. But, like, inside that universe, they would be watching that sitcom after the fucking snap,
it
is
would
what
be.
I'm saying. Like,
It
oh,
changes
honey,
everything. Oh,
yeah.
fuck. All right, so here's our other thing. What if you're, like, kidnapped by a serial killer at the time who wrote this letter?
Yeah,
Exact
of
same
course.
letter.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got you in a basis center, and you snap away.
You better pray to God that he didn't snap away with you.
I'm just saying, has
'Cause
he
he's gonna
moved
be
on
right
after
there.
5 years? Or,
Right.
Like, there's
What if he lived the... Yeah,
serial
okay,
killers
so,
don't go away just
well,
because
it's not
people
even
got snapped.
that. It's just so many different things. Let's
change
put it
locations.
this way. So many buildings are torn down, remodeled every fucking day
What if
of
you
the
get-
fucking year.
You're
You
right.
can get phased into a goddamn wall like you're in the
Exactly.
goddamn Philadelphia experiment.
Exactly.
Everybody that's on a fucking train, a plane,
Oh, they just
a
drop.
fucking boat, a
He's so
ship,
right.
like they're just spawning back. Like people that were on a train are gonna end up in train tracks and get fucking destroyed by a train. People will be falling out of the fucking sky.
Wait.
People in fucking cruise ships are gonna end up in the middle of fucking water out of fucking
Or at the
nowhere.
bottom of the
Like
ocean.
exactly. Okay, so at any given time, there's like 1 million people in the sky at a time.
Yeah.
Like there's like
That's a lot.
there's like fucking 25,000 planes in the air at any moment, probably more than that. Half the pilots are all fucking dead.
That's what I'm
also,
saying.
crash. So where do you respawn? Do you respawn in the air?
Yes. I
Falling
think by
straight-
our theory,
yeah.
you respawn
You-
wherever
I
you
think
dusted from.
I
Right.
think you spawn wherever the location is. Like,
Right.
like their location is going to be the inside of the plane. And it's going to be its final destination. Like, if it crashed...
But the plane's not there anymore. It didn't get snapped. So they just in
Yeah,
the air.
they drifted out. I'm saying they reappear where they drifted.
Yeah, so they're gone.
So like if the
plane's
plane
gone.
isn't right there at that fucking moment, they're not going to get caught back into
So you
it.
tell me that was the point that it could have been raining like 500,000 people.
Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly
That-
what I'm getting at. That's exactly what the fuck I'm getting
Yes.
at.
All right. And we know for a fact when they wrote the script, because there's a Smodcast out where he talks to the writers, Marcus and Mafeely, and they talk about there was a point where they wrote a version of the script, and when they snapped everyone back or they unsnapped them, they showed up there at the Avengers headquarters, millions of people. And they're like, well, we couldn't do that, obviously.
That just gave me goosebumps.
So it
I'm
gives
like,
you-
that would be great.
It gives you the option. Yeah, it'd be a lot more people in that army in that fight scene at the end.
Right.
But it gives you the option.
I'm pissed. I've been gone for 30 seconds. I don't know what happened, but I'm killing years. What's up with my debt, bitches?
So we're working the theory. We don't know. Maybe Spider-Man Far From Home tells us exactly where they take care of that.
Hopefully so, because
But
I mean,
our
what
theory
are
is
the odds that
they come
all of
back.
his friends were in the snap with him? You know what I'm saying?
Very low. But
Yeah,
at
I
the same
mean,
time-
it's kind of believable, I guess, if it's half the population.
Well, that was my theory. Did Aunt May disappear? Did Aunt May disappear? Or was she there fucking
she at the funeral?
Happy Hogan the whole time?
Was she at the funeral?
She was at the
I was
funeral.
going to say, so...
But was she 5 years without Peter Parker? And then he comes back and she's just
Yeah.
like... She's like, oh, you've been
Yeah, I
gone for
moved
5
on.
years and I've been fucking a lot. Like,
yeah.
you don't
And
know.
I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And Happy's happy.
Yeah, and Happy's very happy.
We're both happy.
What other scenarios do we have?
I think I have the most fucked up one. Like,
Okay,
if,
what
like,
scenario?
A baby's about to be born and the doctor dusts, and like the woman just like
yeah.
pushes
That's
the
tragic.
baby out of like.
So you lose the doctor and the fucking baby.
So, like,
but the doctor respawns.
Well, no, like this, like the doctor gets snapped, and then like the baby's about to fall, and then the baby gets dusted mid-fall. So that means when it gets reset, it's like plaque.
Yeah. Like, there are so many fucking odd circumstances like this that we could just fucking imagine in
that's-
our fucking head.
Well, that we talked about, like if you're carrying around a child and all of a sudden you get snapped, that child plops on the ground. Or if you're shopping and all of a sudden you're just like, the baby's just sitting in the cart crying by themselves.
What if you're in a fucking horrible, horrific moment, the moment that you get snapped out of existence, like somebody caught in a fucking wood chipper, and they get reset back, you're like, ah, God damn it, I thought it was done!
Oh, that's terrible. Because you would black out.
Right.
Nothing is, you come back, you're like, it's not over.
But the wood chipper wouldn't be there
But
for 5
that's what I was
years.
saying
But you
about
get what I'm saying.
the
Like, there's
serial
certain
killer.
things.
If you're in chains or bound, do
Yeah.
you snap back into those chains and you're bound again? But
I
if you
think
go
you
in
would
a,
just like be snapped back into that location.
so that's the one-win situation when you're caught by a serial killer and all of a sudden you're not bound anymore. And you're just
Yeah.
like, I'm out of this bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck
and
it.
in 5 years, he probably moved on. They're probably like a whole
They
bunch
would
of
have already
bodies
caught
around
him, or he's actually the new supervillain in the fucking universe.
And so here's what started the whole conversation. We were saying, what if you were jerking off and you're just like going to town and all of a sudden you start snapping? You're like, oh no, I got a fish.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Also, yeah. Whatever you reached out, do you finish doing what you were doing? Exactly, like you said about the fucking doctor giving birth to the baby. So if you're jacking off and then all of a sudden you get snapped back here, you're like, ah! Just like you're,
You
and then
stop it, all of a
all of a
sudden
sudden you're in a
Ah!
fucking you're in a goddamn brand new elementary school kindergarten. Like, fucking, ah!
What are your kids doing here?
Yeah. What the hell is happening?
Oh, I enjoy you watching, but no! Oh, God, that's fucked up. That's what I said. If you say it was this apartment, I'm sitting here jerking off, all of a sudden I come back, other people will be living in this apartment within 5 years. I'm just sitting here with my pants down, going to town on myself, and they're just like, as a family of 5 looking at me, I'm just like, huh?
And obviously they wouldn't realize that the unsnapping happening
They wouldn't know.
because exactly you're the first one back that they're going to see. Obviously, it's going to be the news later. Like, well, everybody's
Also-
brought back.
also-
But they're like, oh yeah. Also, there's like thousands of puns, millions of people dead.
I wanted to
in the
be like that
street.
really bad newscast after it was like, so there I was jerking off, and all of a sudden,
I
we're
also
just...
want to know, it's like, let's say
I was in there touching my naughty business.
that chick is blowing the guy that like he finishes on her face. When that guy, if that guy gets dusted, does she like have dust like coming off her face?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he's about to come, and his sperm that was gonna create a baby gets dusted out, and he's fine. And he's still there with the chick. And he's like, "Well, that was a close one."
Because based on Georgia law now, I think that's a thing.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're tapping that ass and all of a sudden she disappears, do you try to get in the last couple of, taps
It's like,
before she
don't
goes?
dust this kid. I'm about to dust myself.
And especially,
I'm gonna dust.
Even better when she reappears 5 years later. Is she bent over in the bed still?
yeah,
Mom,
Yeah.
she's
She just ready.
What?
Mom, there's a naked
could
lady with
see
an
my
ass
little
in the air.
changes.
There's this naked lady Anne Haitian right now in the bed.
God. Oh, any other scenarios you guys can think of? That was...
well. I mean, with Georgia law, there's gonna be some like really happy mothers or to-be mothers out
That's what we
there.
talked about. What if you have a
Yeah.
shitty kid, and the shitty kid dusts away, and you're just like, oh, shitty kid's gone. We
Yeah,
can start
5 years, man. Me and Mom, we're making new kids that are better than that last little asshole. We're gonna train
What
them
about
right.
this situation? What about if a
It's
lady
like,
was
fuck,
pregnant?
he's
but-
back. He's at the same goddamn age, also.
What
Fuck
about
this,
a
I'm
pregnant
done.
lady? The baby inside got dusted, and it gets snapped. Did she like?
Oh, yeah.
8 months pregnant.
No. It would still come back, but she just wouldn't know that she was fucking pregnant again.
What? Like
But
she
it
was?
would just be like,
I dusted at 8 months
No.
pregnant though.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Holy
yeah. That's
Fuck.
yeah.
Oh, that's some nightmare shit.
What are all your theories about pregnant women?
Yeah, what's
No,
going on?
it's like that's like.
Papa, you
I know,
into-
their lives also. We
Yeah.
get it. You're pro.
You into preggy
life.
porn?
Huh?
You into preggy porn?
God.
He's pro-life.
My brother was
I'm
wicked
not
into
pro life.
Whoa. Why'd you say it like
Pro
that?
death? What are you?
I'm pro choice.
Okay. My brother was wicked in the preggy porn. That's all I'm going to say. He had so
That
much
shit's
preggy
fucking
porn.
weird.
Dude. I
I
couldn't
can't do
believe
it.
it. I was shocked by it. It was just like, God damn, dude, that's a lot of preggy porn. I'm not saying I watched it. But
You jerked off.
no, I
What is,
couldn't do it. How do
what
you
is
jerk off to
I
preggy
don't
porn?
know.
You can't. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Obviously, we've all seen it, but I'm always
Yeah,
worried that
a
they're
lot.
I'm worried that they're hitting the baby's soft spot.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think everyone worries about that, though, right? You ever fuck a pregnant chick?
Well,
yeah, man, I had a threesome before.
That's the darkest joke. Any other in-game theories? I think we pretty much hit that. I'm just saying, there's a giant plot hole that doesn't make sense.
There's so many other scenarios that we couldn't even fucking touch base on how this
But
would
I also
affect.
wonder, like-
Okay, so it affects the world on a global scale just as much as the fucking snap did.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
All of a sudden, half the world's
Yeah,
population
now we have to
came back.
produce food to feed.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Agricultural fucking things, fucking textiles, manufacturing of everything.
And
Like,
and the last thing I want to add, does it even work? Because if all the microorganisms got dusted too, the bacteria that you have in your body you need to survive, does that mean you lost half of that? Doesn't that kill you automatically?
That would decimate populations. If you think about it, like, that's what they think killed off the dinosaurs. Like, fucking star exploded. And when the star explodes, it fucking gamma radiation will wipe off the atmosphere of the Earth, and that's what happened. And, like, it killed all the plants, animals on a molecular level, like, even, like, and it just, like, fucked up the food chain, starting from the very bottom all the way up. So that's probably what would have happened. What the fuck are we talking about here? I got lost. Never
No,
mind.
it's fine. It's just it's a movie, and you got to enjoy it for what it is. But
well,
goddamn it,
you know what?
cigarette.
You know what? That
You think you need a
there's
cigarette?
one. There's one fucking thing that I will give it a little bit of saving grace with this wacky theory.
It was really
ours.
good.
The 5-year gap. We don't know where technology is going to be in 5 years from now. We don't know what the human race is going to be capable of. They're making these deep fake videos of people that are extremely fucking real, and you don't know what's what. So, if we continue this trend of, I guess, technological advancement, AI, everything else, there might be a way that we can explain how people were able to come back and we were able to fix it thanks to technology or fucking bots or whatever else, you know, with Tony's legacy with Stark Industries, building fucking nanobots, everything else. So that is the one thing that I try to keep in my mind, that there's a 5-year fucking gap here. I mean, we saw it on Parks and Rec. They jumped forward and they had fucking clear phones and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stupid little tweaks like that. But, like, there
what
might
I'm
be
saying.
a way to explain away that. But as we know it, MCU timeline is set in 2023 right now.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time.
I also want to know, like, I don't think they knew what happened during the snap. Because, like, when Peter Parker explains, like, no, I woke up and Doctor Strange was there.
And he was doing the glowing thing that he always does.
So that
It's like, kid, it's been 5 years. And it's
that
like,
led
ugh.
me to believe that there was a place that they actually went to physically.
He
after
said
the
it
snap.
felt like it was 5 seconds, and he woke up,
They
and he's
proved-
like, kid, it's been 5 years.
Right there, that proved our theory, though, because based upon that, they showed back up on Titan.
Right.
So you do snap back to wherever
Yeah,
you
wherever you
unsnap
were.
from.
That's what I'm saying.
So everyone's fucked.
Yeah.
Basically, you take out another quarter
Right.
of the population just based upon
Right.
the,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
final destination
It
aspect
reduces
of it.
it to maybe 33% now at this point. And then you're also having to care for all wounded and injured people. So it's like it's a fell all the way
It's-
across the
But I
board.
don't know. I'm kind of disappointed because they really could have taken, like, the future MCU, which is for those who were snapped, a really interesting way. Like, oh my god, like they had like all like these fucked up things. Like,
Think
just
all
because
these
they're-
derpy kids running around from falling off the
No,
fucking...
just like the fact that they remembered being snapped. Can you imagine?
Well, even Tony
knowing that
said-
you were snapped
what?
and actually like remembering something from being snapped.
Get a tattoo, man.
Even Tony Stark said, just keep everything the way it is. Just bring back the people that we lost in the snap.
Exactly. Y'all, just thank you so much for listening. Please, if you enjoyed this, share with people.
Please share.
Please get this
Share.
podcast out there. Also, you can go to Quack Attack 5000 on YouTube and subscribe. There's also Quack Attack 5000 podcast on YouTube where you can listen to all of our previous podcasts. Yeah, that was a lot of fun talking about that. So hopefully you enjoyed listening to this. Share this with your friends. We want to grow this. Send us an email at quackattack5000@gmail.com. And join our Facebook group, We Are Error.
We are error.
And this has been Duck. Thank you so much for listening. I've been here with
Jake.
and
Javi,
we will see you
when we see you,
when you
bitch.
get snapped, bitch.
Oh, that was fun. Now we have to decipher this fucking letter.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagoo, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes Jiros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Error. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.